real-life Dexter's laboratory.
Max is 13 years old in this video, and he had also just invented a new kind of wireless energy harvester.
The world's smartest kid has a terrifying message for CERN. Stop before you erase us all. This isn't a joke. A boy genius named Max Laughlin looked at their billion-dollar collider and said they're meddling with parallel universes. Today, we reveal the hidden truth. You won't believe what he says they're really trying to contact, or the strange events already linked to their tests, like the Mandela Effect. We're going deep on the theory that CERN is hiding the fact that they've already started to break reality. Max Laughlin's terrifying prophecy. Many people are crazy about the idea of child prodigies. You see, we love the idea that someone somewhere has all the answers. But what if that person was a teenager and the answers he had were terrifying? This is the story of Max Laughlin. He's not your average kid. By the age of 13, he was already famous in some circles for giving talks on complex topics like physics, alternate realities, and the nature of the universe. He even claimed to have invented a free energy device. To put it mildly, he was a media sensation, dubbed by many as the world's smartest kid. While most kids were playing video games, Max was apparently looking at the biggest video game of all.
There's an infinite number of parallel universes. There is an infinite possibility that there's a parallel universe.
Our reality. And he zeroed in on the one group of people he believed were trying to break the rules: CERN. CERN stands for the European Organization for Nuclear Research. It's located in Switzerland, and it's home to the single largest, most expensive, and most complex machine ever built by humankind, the Large Hadron Collider, or LHC. This isn't just a science lab, it's a modern-day colossus. It's a 17-mile-long circular tunnel buried hundreds of feet underground. Inside this ring, scientists use thousands of the world's most powerful magnets. Magnets chilled to a temperature colder than deep space, just 2 degrees above absolute zero, to hurl tiny, tiny particles at nearly the speed of light. They crash these particles into each other over 600 million times per second. The official story, the one they tell the public, is that they are doing this to recreate the conditions just moments after the Big Bang. They want to find the smallest building blocks of nature. They famously found the Higgs boson, the so-called God particle, which is what gives mass to everything we can see. This all sounds like noble science, but Max Laughlin looked at this picture and saw something very different. What many overlooked, he saw front and center. He claimed that the model of physics CERN was using was all wrong.
An ordered form of infinity. So imagine it like this: omega plus 1, and then omega plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, and so on and so on and so on and so on.
He proposed his own theory, that the universe isn't empty space. Instead, he claimed it's filled with a web of infinite energy. And more importantly, he believed in the multiverse, that our reality is just one of countless parallel universes, all layered on top of each other, separated by a thin veil. Here's the kicker. Max warned that the LHC, by smashing particles together with such incredible force, we're talking about energy levels over 13 trillion electron volts, wasn't just observing reality. He claimed it was poking it. He suggested they were creating tiny rips in the fabric of space-time. He warned that they were messing with things they did not understand and that they could quite literally break reality. He said they could accidentally punch a hole through the veil, separating our universe from another, or worse, that they could create a bubble of unstable physics that could expand and erase our entire world. The thing nobody tells you is why CERN would take such a risk. Mainstream science dismissed the boy's claims as youthful speculation. But conspiracy circles lit up. They offered a chilling explanation. What if opening a portal wasn't an accident? What if it was the real goal all along? What if CERN is trying to open a door and they are hiding what they expect to find on the other side? Max's warning gave a voice to a fear that many already had. This isn't just a machine, it's a key, and CERN is trying to find the lock. But Max's warning is just the tip of the iceberg. Strange events linked to the LHC. If CERN was just a normal, boring science lab, people might not be so worried. But not all things are what they seem. You see, the clues that something strange is going on are, to put it mildly, right out in the open. The biggest wow factor that makes everyone suspicious is the giant statue they placed right in front of the CERN headquarters. It's a massive 2-meter-tall bronze statue of a Hindu deity. But it's not a god of peace or knowledge or prosperity. The statue is of Shiva in the pose of Nataraja, the lord of the dance. This dance isn't a celebration, it's the cosmic dance of destruction. Shiva is the god who destroys the universe in order to recreate it. This isn't a hidden detail, CERN proudly displays it. It was a gift from India to celebrate their association. But for people already nervous about a machine that could literally destroy the universe, putting a statue of the destroyer god out front seems like a sick joke. It's like a hospital putting a giant statue of the Grim Reaper in the lobby. This is where Max Laughlin's warning about breaking reality gets truly dark.
Compatible. They annihilate each other and release a bunch of energy or other particles. It's a microscopically nasty business.
Theorists believe the Shiva statue is a symbol of CERN's true intent. They're not just smashing particles, they're trying to open a portal. Some say it's a portal to hell. They point to the bizarre, almost ritualistic opening ceremony for the Goddard Base Tunnel, another massive Swiss project near CERN which took place in 2016. That ceremony was watched by world leaders and was, frankly, terrifying. It featured people dressed as goats, strange winged figures, and a performance that looked less like a celebration of engineering and more like a dark summoning ritual. People immediately connected this to CERN. Was this ceremony a dedication to the dark entities CERN was trying to contact? It sounds crazy, but then the world started to feel off. This brings us to the Mandela Effect. This is a phenomenon where thousands, even millions of people all misremember the exact same detail from the past. You probably know the big ones. Do you remember the children's books as the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstain Bears? It's always been Berenstain. Do you remember the comedian Sinbad starring in a 90s movie called Shazam? He didn't. That movie never existed. Did Darth Vader say, "Luke, I am your father"? No, he said, "No, I am your father." What many overlooked is the timing. Many people who track this phenomenon claim that these mass mismemories, these glitches in the matrix, started getting way more intense right around the time CERN fired up the LHC to its highest power levels. The theory is chilling. Max Laughlin was right. CERN is breaking reality. They're not just observing parallel universes, they're mashing them together. Every time they run a high-energy experiment, they might be shifting our collective consciousness from one timeline to another, slightly different one. We are slipping between realities. We remember Berenstain because in the reality we came from, that's how it was spelled. But here in this new one, it's Berenstain. This is the ultimate violation. It's not just a danger to our future, it's a danger to our past. They aren't just hiding what they might do, they're hiding what they've already done. If they are changing reality, what is their final goal? Playing God with physics. Let's set aside the portals and the parallel universes for a minute and talk about the fear that even the most sober scientists have had to address. This is the black hole nightmare. The question is simple. Could CERN accidentally create a black hole that eats the Earth? When this question was first asked, the public laughed. Then, CERN's own physicists admitted that yes, the Large Hadron Collider could theoretically create microscopic black holes. You can imagine the panic, but they were quick to calm everyone down. They said that even if these tiny black holes were created, they would be harmless.
Universes or dimensions even together. Now, then again, they're fairy tales.
Thanks to a theory from Stephen Hawking, they believe these micro black holes would evaporate almost instantly in a tiny puff of energy called Hawking radiation. They would disappear in less than a non-millionth of a second. Case closed, right? Not so fast. The thing nobody tells you is that this is all theoretical. Hawking radiation has never been observed. It's just math on a blackboard. What if the math is wrong? What if, as Max Laughlin warned, they are playing with forces they don't truly understand? What if they create a micro black hole and it doesn't evaporate? What if it's stable? Even a black hole the size of an atom would have unimaginable density and gravity. It would be unstoppable. It would pass through the floor of the collider, through the hundreds of feet of rock beneath it, and start sinking toward the center of the Earth. And it would feed. It would pull in matter atom by atom. As it fed, it would grow, and as it grew, its gravity would increase, and it would feed faster. It would be a silent end, a creeping cosmic terror eating our planet from the inside out. It could take years, but it would be irreversible. By the time we even notice the strange gravitational effects, it would be too late. But here's the kicker. There's another doomsday scenario that might be even more frightening. It's called the Strangelet scenario. This is a wow factor that scientists really don't like to talk about. The theory goes like this. The particles that make up our world, protons and neutrons, are made of up and down quarks. But physics allows for another heavier type of quark called a strange quark. It's possible that a combination of up, down, and strange quarks could form a hypothetical particle called a strangelet. Here's the problem. Some theories suggest that this strange matter would be the most stable form of matter in the universe, more stable than our own. A strangelet would be like a seed of ultimate destruction. If the LHC created just one stable strangelet, it would act like a tiny, infectious crystal. Any normal matter it touched, the wall of the detector, the air, the ground, would be instantly converted into more strange matter. It would be a chain reaction that could not be stopped. It would convert the entire Earth into a lifeless, dense hunk of strange matter in minutes. CERN has published multiple safety reports claiming this is impossible. They say the energies are not high enough. They say that cosmic rays with more energy hit the Earth all the time and we're still here. But we're not hitting particles together in a controlled, focused beam hundreds of feet underground. They have to say it's safe. What else are they going to do? They say it's safe, but the evidence of a cover-up is mounting. The down-to-earth truth. So what is the truth? This is the final chapter, the part where we have to look at all the pieces. People watching this are looking for a mystery, and the mystery is bigger than any one theory. You have a boy genius warning about breaking reality. You have a giant statue of a destroyer god. You have millions of people convinced their memories are being rewritten by the Mandela Effect. And you have the very real, if tiny, scientific possibility of a planet-ending accident.
For instance, when we look at the gravitational movement of galaxies, these movements that are observed cannot be explained with the amount of matter that we see.
You have to ask yourself why. Why spend tens of billions of dollars? Why use enough electricity to power a small city? Why risk any of this just to find a new particle? The down-to-earth truth is, many people don't buy the official story. They believe CERN is hiding its real purpose. So what could it be? Theory 1 is the most obvious. It's a weapon. In a world of Cold Wars, a machine that could create micro-black holes or strange matter isn't a science experiment. It's the ultimate superweapon. A black hole you could aim? That's the end of any enemy. But Theory 2 is the one that connects all the dots. It's the WTF factor that, to put it mildly, changes everything. What if Max Laughlin was right about breaking reality, but not in the way we think? What if the reality he's talking about is the simulation? This is the simulation hypothesis, the idea that our entire universe, our lives, our memories are all just code running in a giant cosmic computer. This isn't just a stoner theory. It's been discussed by top scientists, philosophers, and tech billionaires. They argue it's statistically more likely we are in a simulation than in a base reality. So what if CERN's real secret mission is to prove it? What if the LHC isn't a microscope? What if it's a tool for hacking the matrix? The scientists at CERN aren't just physicists, they're inmates rattling the bars of the prison. They're smashing particles together to see if they can find the pixels, the glitches in the code. They're trying to see the edge of the program, and that is the most terrifying thought of all. Because if we are in a simulation, what happens when the programmers find out their experiment is self-aware? What happens when we break the game? Does it crash? Do they pull the plug? Do they patch us out of existence? This is the ultimate secret. Max Laughlin's warning wasn't about a monster coming through a portal, it was about alerting the monster that we are here. They keep smashing particles and the world keeps getting weirder. What do you think CERN is really searching for? Let us know below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.